just have me up here Tony Montana style.
Okay.
With my arms up. Tell me when.
Go ahead. Just say your first and last name and spell it.
Okay. My name is Corey Mason. Corey Surrey Mason. COREYSIRREYMASON.
Okay. Stay right there. Okay. So, tell me the history of Fly and when it started.
Okay, so the history of Fly, not to be long-winded because we got a long history, but we were culminated in 2007 through a summer program, a stop summer program, in which we were taught community organizing skills. And this is really one of the first times that community organization that does organizing really done it around this southeastern part of Woodlawn. So it was just really interesting to be a part of it. I'm like, man, I gotta be a part of it. So from there, we had different youth coming in. What?
Is that it?
No, coming in from the program, and throughout the years, we had recruited more and more Fly members. This man right here, which would be shown on the camera, here's Lightfoot. Check it out, though. Check it out. Man.
What's going on? As my comrade Corey just said, my name Darius Lightfoot.
Can you spell it for me?
No doubt. DARRIUSLIG as in goat, H as in hat, TFOOT.
This man here, he's also the co-founder of Fly and a huge leader within Fly. We, along with other co-founders and Fly leaders, then moved this movement to the next level. Like without new members, without new leaders, there would be no Fly. Without the community in which we are in, there would be no Fly. Without these societal ills such as mass incarceration, mainly focusing on the black community, the war on drugs mainly impacting communities of color. Fly, that is what made Fly. Without the war on drugs, without the drugs being implemented in our communities, we wouldn't have gang wars, we wouldn't have trauma victims. And those are two of our main campaigns, the Adi Home campaign, which is the juvenile detention center here in Chicago, and the trauma center campaign.
Yeah, and I know you went back, and said without the war on drugs, without the gangs, and I'll even take it just to 2007, you did, without us, there would be no Fly. Without young people who's willing to fight this struggle, there would be no Fly. You have to be passionate about this work to actually do this work. And you have to want to see change. You have to actually see that there is a need for change. And if you don't have that, then you don't have the ability to make that change because you're blinded. You don't see it. And I just wanted to add on to what you said.
Oh, yeah. And also, I would be remiss without telling you some of our accomplishments.
That's later.
But we have it.
Wait. Yeah, go ahead and answer that question.
So, later as in now. So, I'll let Des speak on a lot of the Adi Home campaign, and that origination of that campaign and accomplishments that we have made.
Thank you, bro. Shit. So the accomplishments that we made with the Adi Home campaign, just to reiterate some things that were said, we founded that campaign back in 2007. When Fly was first founded, we actually started that campaign because of the inhumane conditions that were going on in the juvenile temporary detention center, also known as the Adi Home. That's where we got the name of the campaign from, right? And basically the goal of that campaign was to shut down the JTDC, Juvenile Temporary Detention Center, and open up restorative justice hubs throughout the neighborhoods where youth are being jailed. Restorative justice hubs they consist of 5 major components, right? Accountability, mentorship, accompaniment, hospitality, and tutoring and like life skills, right? So, and it also has to be community led. If it's not community led, it is not a restorative justice hub. What do I mean about community led? I mean people in the community actually leading that hub. People from that community leading the mentorship, leading the advocacy, the accompaniment, and working with these youth personally because they know them personally. So we started that campaign. And it was a coalition of 2 groups, Fly and also a group from the Southwest side who's no longer with us, goes by the name of SWIC, Southwest Youth Collaborative, and Generation Y. So we started that campaign, like I said, because of the inhumane conditions. Let me tell you just a little bit about what was going on. The youth, they were finding bug wings, bug legs, whole bugs in their food. They didn't have janitors for up to 12 weeks straight. So these young people were forced to wash their underwear, wash their sheets out in their toilets with some shampoo. You know, they had to live in these conditions where there were no janitors. And of course, if there are no janitors and they can't go outside themselves to go dump that trash, where was that trash going? Nowhere. So that trash was in their facility. And that's just a couple things, right? And matter of fact, I'm gonna just give you one more major one. The guards who were supposed to be protecting these young folks, who were supposed to be making sure that they're safe, they were sexually, mentally, and physically abusing these young people, boys and girls, in this facility. You know, a facility that's supposed to be rehabilitating. And that obviously wasn't happening if all this was going on, right? So we stepped in. We stepped in because we seen that there needs to be a change. We seen that things could change. So what we did was we had this action. And this is to go into the accomplishments and everything, right? We had this action, and we brought together the young people from the neighborhoods, both Woodlawn and I want to say not Grand Crossing, in the neighborhood of 63rd and Cassie. We brought them together, and we marched upstairs to the 5th floor of the Cook County Board President, who at that time was Todd Schroeder. And I said earlier, they didn't have janitors for up to 12 weeks straight. So what we did was we delivered 400 pairs of young people's underwear to Todd Schroeder, representing that if you can't give these youth what they need to actually be in this facility, then we will. And that action made front page news, it made headlines. There's actually a newsletter right here up on our wall. You could view that later. You know, it's right there. You know, that's the first action. That's why the paper all yellow and stuff now. But that action created major buzz about this campaign and about this movement. And what we won from that, right? The next week, they had new janitors. They got them new underwear. Eventually, we had quarterly tours of the Adi home. Young people touring the Adi home, and you can be over 20, and if you're under 21, you can't even tour that place. You can't even be in that place. And picture this, young people, 16, 17, 15, in that place touring. making sure that the young people are getting what they need, making sure that the young people are all right, surveying these young people quarterly. That's a big win. That's a big win. And they actually got a new security team. Because the old security that they had wasn't equipped to even deal with young people. They weren't even trained to handle young people. They were trained to handle the adult prison system, adults. So they brought in a new security system, a private security company, goes by the name of Whack and Hut. Probably not a fantastic name, but that's just to highlight some of the things that happened and some of the things that we did as young people who seen that there needs to be a change and saying that there could be change.
Also, I would like to add on top of that we had the age limit raised on the Adi home as well. When they tried to lower the age limit to 16 years old, in which it was 17 years old for the longest, for years on end, we felt that was unjust. We went out there, we protested, we marched, and we forced their hand to re-raise the age limit back to 17 years old. You know,
Why did you feel like it needed to stay at 17 instead of 16?
Because personally, the youth are immature, during those times. They're unmature for the prison system, the Cook County jail. That's where they would pretty much transition to once they leave the Adi home. As it's in the name, juvenile temporary detention center. It's temporary for, the youth that's under that age limit. But once they surpass that age limit, they go into the prison system where they're more malleable, they're influential, they're easy to be influenced. And that's why we felt that was a big unjust.
And I don't know if you want us to talk about what's going on recently with the Adi home.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Because then I would want to put it in the shorter version of the video. Because it is so interesting, but I'll put it in the long version.
Okay.
And then I'll come back to that. What age ranges do you work with the youth?
Okay, now we work with, Fly's age range is, right now, is 14 to 23, membership-wise. So yeah, that's our age range.
So the youth have to be members to be involved?
No, they don't have to be members. We would love them to be members. Like every summer, we have summer programs in which we partnered up with After School Matters to provide stipend checks, in which we train the youth, and practice and theory on what our mission statement is. Which is, Fly's mission statement is to engage students and the youth in community organizing and training and practice and theory, historical, cultural orientation, and mentoring and leadership. This is what we do. This is what we do during the program, throughout the year. You can get involved, of course, membership-wise. That's the purpose of the program. But of course, they can volunteer. They can get community service hours. We're the place to go. We Fly, and who don't want to be down with Fly?
Exactly.
So do you work with the same youth all the time, or is it always like a different group that you work with when you throw events and when they get involved?
We interview. We have an interview process for the summer program.